Hello, everybody. I'm Val Thompson, the host for iFocus podcast. And today we have a very interesting guest that I'm excited to interview. His name is Donnell Cooper, and he is running for Houston City Council member, position 3 at large. So, Donnell, how are you today, sir?
Doing great, Val. Doing great. Hello to you. How you doing there, my friend?
I'm doing great. Glad for you to be here, and I'm excited about interviewing you. Just to talk about us for a minute, Donnell, I've been knowing you for several years.
Long time, Val. Long time.
You bet back in the days when you were executive director, I think, for the Boy Scouts.
The Boy Scouts of America. Yeah, I think that's what we
right.
initially met. Yes, sir.
You were doing a fantastic job there, and I think you're currently still president of the Frontier Club.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've been president now. This will be 10 years. Trying my best to step away this year, but we'll see how it goes.
You've done a fantastic job, and Frontier Club have done some wonderful things for our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you for all your support.
You bet. So let's get down to it. Can you share with us why you are running for public office for the city of Houston?
Well, Val, again, I want to thank you for the opportunity to come before you and along with the listeners on today. Just to share for the public record, my name is Donnell Cooper, and I am your Democratic candidate for City Council at Large, position 3. And we are so excited about the momentum that we've been able to build thus far. When you think about community service, when you think about a public servant, I think about that more than just a candidate. And over the last 25 plus years, I've dedicated my service and my time back to the constituents here in the city of Houston. And I'm excited to be able to run for this race because now I'll have the opportunity to elevate the passion, the commitment of the service that I've devoted into this city as a public servant and an at-large capacity. This has been a long time dream for me. I am a first time political candidate, but what better way to incorporate this opportunity into this historical moment? For our listeners today, this will be the first time in Harris County history that 3 out of the 5 at-large seats are actually termed out. So I'm actually running for an open seat. But what I'm most proudly excited about is that I will be the first African-American male in an at-large seat in over a decade. So again, Val, as you see, I'm excited. I know my constituents are excited. The voters are excited. And we're just 3 months away. Early voting starts October 23rd. Election day is November 7th. So I'm excited about the journey ahead.
You bet. Donnell, again, I've been knowing you for years, and I have an idea what would qualify you. But why don't you give us a shot at it and let us know what's in your background that would qualify you to be a good candidate for the city of Houston.
Right. Well, again, Val, I think, right now, what we're proud about in this campaign is that we're not waiting for election day in order to start the service and commitment. As I shared with you earlier, I've spent the last 25 years of my life sewing back to the community. Currently, right now, full time, I am a campus operation director for Houston Community College. We actually have 27 campuses here in the city. We're the largest community college in the state of Texas, and I have the luxury of managing 7 of those campuses from top to bottom, anything from operations down to our core curriculum, down to our staffing, down to our administration. And all of those campuses are based in Northeast Houston. I've also had the privilege of partnering with the college as an adjunct professor for the last 18 years. Currently, right now, I teach ESL second language to international students that want to learn how to read, write, and speak English. And I've also taught government for over a 15-year period as well. Prior to coming over to Houston Community College, I had the opportunity of leading the Boy Scouts of America as the director here in the city of Houston, working with over 60,000 scouts and families over 18 different counties, and working with over 35,000 registered volunteers, along with over 200 board members here with the Sam Houston Area Council. And so that opportunity provided me great opportunity to not only embrace volunteers, but also able to lead in the capacity where scouting was probably not on the decline of not being the most popular generated nonprofit entity across the country. But again, with good leadership, with good relationships, I was able to lead the organization through some very trying times. As we know, within the last 5 or so years, the Boy Scouts of America has had a lot of uproar. One with embracing females into the organization, along with allowing adults to be in a different capacity with our organization. So that was a great time for me. And again, I was able to provide great leadership to the organizations to get us through that strand. Prior to the Boy Scouts of America, I was with ExxonMobil for 8-year term period. 5 of those years in Germany and Munich, and 3 of those years here in the Houston area, working in the upstream mobility compartment. So again, a very, very diverse component. A wealth of knowledge and base here in the community. As you stated earlier, Val, I've been the president for the Great Eastern Frontiers Club for the last 10 plus years. Our sole proprietary mission is to sow back into the community with providing scholarships to our local high school students. We're proud to announce that we've donated over $3 million in the last 30 plus years, right back to our high school students here in Harris County. And so again, I've been very, very actively involved in many capacities throughout the city, which I know that allows me to be a well-developed, well-rounded candidate for this at-large seat. And so, I'm excited about being able to reach back to all the relationships and the partnerships that I've developed over the last 25 plus years, now giving them an opportunity to support me just as I supported them over the last 25 plus years.
Thank you. Back to the campaign. What are some of your platform agenda items?
Yeah, so Val, we know that at this at-large capacity time, our city is in somewhat in a crying state. I think a lot of the candidates are sharing some of the same platforms, but we're being very intentional about 4 intentional areas. One is public safety. We want to make sure that our city is safe. We want to make sure that our constituents can go out with their families, whether it be holidays or during the week, and be able to reduce some of the crime rates that we have. So public safety is going to be a major initiative that we're ready to hit the boots day one by putting more boots on the ground centered around public safety. 2, it's going to be fiscal responsibility. We want to make sure that we're being accountable for the budget. Our governing board of the city council has a lot of leverage in regards to voting on a lot of revenue operating generators that are being very impactful for our city. But as an at-large candidate and at-large new city council member, I want to make sure that those dollars that we're voting upon are being transparent. And most importantly, that those dollars are being equally spent throughout our city, especially in some of our inner city communities that have been mostly forgotten about. We want to make sure that our quality of life in the city has definitely been one of the higher degrading compartments in the area. We know that constituents are complaining about their trash not being picked up on time. We know that the heavy haul industry in the city, solid waste department, is 3 to 4 months behind. But most importantly, we know that the illegal dumping has become a very, very outsourced component. And when you look at the heavy haul dumping, when you look at illegal dumping, when those items are sitting out in your communities and your neighborhoods on a longevity of time, overall, it does affect our environment. So we want to make sure that we continue to thrive with a clean and thrifty city. So we want to be able to hit the ground, making sure that our constituents in those communities are not being affected by some of those components. And last but not least, Val, we want to make sure that our economic development opportunities are available and readily available. We want to make sure the tools and resources, especially in our workforce development communities, we want to make sure that our city knows that low-hanging fruit, such as the Houston Community College or the Great Eastern Frontiers or our Urban League, have resources available and skill set trainings that are available for our constituents to be able to continue in the careers that they want to explore in. So those are going to be our top 4, prioritized things that we want to hit the ground day one, affected here in the city. And I know that the city is ready to embrace those, and we're ready to hit the ground running day one.
Donnell, just for our viewers and our listeners to understand, when you're running for at-large position 3 or any at-large position, you are running for the entire city. Basically, what I'm saying, your votes come the same way they would if you were mayor.
That's
so
right.
I just want everybody to know a lot of Houstonians don't know that fact that it is an all city voting position.
That's correct.
Right.
Val. Right now, our council has 16 city council seats, and 11 of those seats are district seats, and 5 of those seats are at-large seats. So this will be the first time in Harris County history that 3 out of the 5 seats will actually be termed out from an at-large capacity. Overall, total on City Council will have 7 open seats available this year. And so, as you stated earlier, Val, the seat that I'm running for at-large 3 will be the voice for the city for an at-large seat. It's not a district restricted seat. So as long as you live in the city of Houston, you are eligible to vote. And so, like you said, it is definitely just like you're running for mayor, which would be a future goal that I definitely want to strive for. And after this city run election. And so, again, we're very excited about where we are and the momentum that we have for this at-large 3 seat.
Well, that segues us into my next question: is what makes this city different from last year's history?
Well, again, this is going to be a very pivotal year, Val, because again, as you don't know, the last mayoral 4 years ago, 178 people voted in the election. In the citywide election. So we talking about 2.4 million people in the city, 178,000 only voted. We have to do a better job. And so not only am I out thriving to be the voice of the city, I'm also encouraging people to get back engaged with our city elections. We are nonpartisan. We are nonpartisan candidates. Our council is derived around a nonpartisan bias, and so again, we don't run as Democrats or Republicans. But again, we have to get the city, our millennials, our Gen Zs, our up and coming generations. We have to get them excited about polling their voice and just being available to be engaged in this process. And so that's where I find myself being very different, being 47 years old, being from the community, and having an opportunity to be embraced. I feel like my voice will be the missing element in allowing those who have on the fence lines, who have not wanted to get involved with politics, being able to have somebody that they can actually connect with. And so again, we're excited about the momentum that we have. But like you said, this will be a very pivotal year, especially with the power players that we have definitely in our mayoral campaign as well. And so we're hoping that energy as well, with some of the forefront leaders that we have in our mayoral election, will also ignite our numbers to be able to inflate with more registered voters and more people getting out to vote on November the 7th.
Okay, Donnell, and my last question is, how can others find out about you or sign up to be a part of your campaign initiatives?
Yeah, so Val, we would love all the listeners today to please go to our website at cooperforhouston.com. cooperforhouston.com. That is on all social media platforms: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. cooperforhouston.com. And again, and be able to just participate with us. We're always looking for dedicated volunteers with our robocalls, getting out canvassing. Our donation opportunities are there. As anyone knows, campaigning takes a lot of dollars to be able to sow, to make sure that our voice is heard, whether that be yard signs, banners, billboards, yard signs. We want to make sure that those things are relevant. And so again, please encourage the listeners today to go out to Cooper for Houston. But most important, while you're out there, learn about the candidate. Look at the research, look at the history, the 25 plus year history that is out there, the proven work that has been sown back into this city. And again, we would love for the listeners today to be a part of the Cooper for Houston campaign.
All right, Donnell Cooper for Houston, City Council member at large, position 3. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Thank you so much, Val, for the invitation today. Best wishes to you and the iFocus group. I know this has been a great platform for you with the new podcast, and so happy to be a part of the initiative. And as I think your first political candidate.
You are our first political candidate, and it's been a wonderful interview. And thank you for joining us. And for our listeners and viewers, please subscribe to this podcast. We are watched on many platforms and published on many, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. So thank you for your time, you, Donnell, and also our listeners. Thank you for your time.
Thanks again, Val. Have a great one.
My pleasure.